Marketing Shorts. My name is Istvan, and today I'll be giving you insight in under 3 minutes on how the Facebook algorithm targets you specifically. You know, sometimes Facebook knows really well what you're looking for, and it gives you exactly ads for products that you're searching for in that specific period of time. Of course, this is all done through the algorithm. And today I'll be showing you where to look for in your profile to find out what kind of interests or categories Facebook is placing you into, and that's of course how advertisers are finding you. So let's actually get into it. On my profile over here, I'll actually go to this drop down and I'll go to Settings and Privacy. Over here, I'll click on Settings. Once the settings load up, I'll go to this Ads section. And in the ads section, first of all, you'll notice over here I can already see the advertisers that I've recently seen, but what I'm interested in is going to ad settings. Now over here in ad settings, there's a couple of things that you can check out, but what we're doing now is categories used to reach you. So over here, of course, you have a couple of things that you can set up, like can advertisers reach you based on the relationship status, on your education, job title, or employer. But what I'm really interested in showing you is interests in categories and other categories. So if you go to interest categories, over here you'll see the main interests that advertisers are using to target you. So as you can see, I'm interested in Shopify, online shopping, Hootsuite, WooCommerce, and if I expand this list, well, there's tens, hundreds, maybe even thousands of things that Facebook considers that is part of my interest group, right? Now, sometimes you may find things that are pretty off, but of course these are all based on what kind of ads you watched on Facebook recently, what kind of groups you've joined, what kind of pages you browsed, and of course sometimes Facebook can be misled. Maybe in one morning you got really, I don't know, really into this one ad about vacuum cleaners, but you're actually not interested at all to get a vacuum cleaner. You just watched the ad because you thought it's interesting. So now you're marked as really interested in vacuum cleaners. And yeah, that happens, but in the most part, you'll notice that a lot of these interests will be really well defined and specific for you. And yeah, you do also have the option to remove some of these things. So if you're not interested in a certain topic that Facebook shows you, you can just click remove and it will remove it, and you won't be getting any more ads targeting you based on that interest. Now, as I said, I'll just get out of here. And I'll go back over there just to show you again other categories, because this one's also interesting. These can be really specific because there's not as many. So they're mostly based on stuff like relationship status, what kind of shopper you are and what kind of Facebook user you are, and of course what kind of technology you use. So as you can see, Facebook is very correctly assessing that I'm using Facebook a lot on my iPhone XS Max. And it can also see that I'm away from my hometown. It knows that my birthday is in May, and so on and so forth. So these can be really specific. And these are some of the categories that a lot of advertisers actually use. So yeah, this is another interesting section to check out. Now, of course, why would you be interested in actually looking at these interests, especially if you're an advertiser? Well, first of all, it's a great case study. Look at your own profile. Now, try to think of your target audience. What are their interests based on what you saw at yourself, right? So you can really learn how to build audiences, learn how to define your customer persona by looking at yourself, of course. And of course, it's always fun to just kind of get into your profile and see why, how, and where Facebook is targeting you. If you thought this content was interesting and useful, drop us a thumbs up, share this video with another marketer. If you have other suggestions for PS Academy Shorts, well, drop a comment down below. I hope you enjoyed today's video. See you on the next short.